Trudeau must go hashtag is trending on Twitter. And
Ils sont extrémistes. Qui ne croient pas dans la science, qui sont souvent misogynes, souvent racistes aussi. C'est un
Jake Paul wants to join the UFC. After all the stuff he did say before, he's starting off the new year 2022 with a whole new attitude. He's ready to get to work. See, looks like Jake Paul fully understands. And he's got just a couple demands for Dana. To bring in this big household name like a Jake Paul, he wants 50% of the UFC's annual revenue. He wants to make sure that fighters in the UFC, him and others, will get, it's not just him, but others too. He wants to set these new rules. 50% of UFC, so fighters will get a split of 50% of the entire revenue that the um, entire brand generates. So that would increase. That would make. That would create a huge pool of money just to be given to for an incentive for fighters to not only fight but market their fights and whatnot. It increases the windfall as well as the downfall as well as the budget. Jake wants to increase fighter pay to 50,000 per fight. Right now the minimum is 12,000. So Jake wants to make sure that the minimum in the UFC is going to be 50,000 a fight. That's pretty high. That's pretty high card. See, UFC used to have a lot more big names than they did back in the Chuck Liddell, Forrest Griffin days, is what I call those. In the Rampage Jackson, uh, Anderson Silva. Those days, I would have seen it at a minimum of 50K, but we're talking about 2022 now. Everything's on it was on the down, 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 and it's about, and Jake Paul is going to be the one to bring it up and up. You don't bring in Jake Paul, Jake's going to be pissed, and it's just going to be to hell with UFC from his perspective, and that's going to be a big loss on UFC, especially on the ecosystem that it is now compared to where it used to be. But if they can take Jake Paul in, they get some other big names, do some amazing fights, bring it back to how it used to be. They used to have some great star fighters. I used to love the UFC when I was a kid. Some great, great stars. You used to see them on YouTube, on the video games, on World Star Hip Hop, on everything like that, TikTok, whatever. You'd see them. They'd have their own brand to go along with it, not just some guy they throw in the ring and say that's their name. And he wants long-term health care included. See, that's a big thing in the United States. You know, a guy gets a job with a company uh, in the U.S., it's a big thing. Healthcare, insurance, dental, yada, yada. So that's a huge incentive for Jake to give up what he's already got going and sign a contract that's gonna uh, that's gonna lock him in with that specific brand where he's gonna be the forefront or be pushing because he's young. He's pushing every day. This guy, he's got a lot of energy. He wants to be a superstar. Does UFC want this superstar? It's a great look. He could be the next. He's so more American than a. He's like Conor McGregor, but America's Conor McGregor. Like Conor is not United States. He is UK and all for like these guys and all that. So it's like Jake Paul is one of us, and he's been calling out Conor. That's why he calls out Conor all the time. He's like, I'm going to knock Conor out and all that because he's the American and the Americans, but they know they can't fuck with Jake Paul. So they have him steady knocking out Tyrone Woodley. He's picking on his own African American homeboy, and he should be knocking out Conor McGregor, the guy that's going around to all the bars acting like he's living the Social Network movie every night, fighting people and whatever he's doing all the time and bragging and fighting people and spending money. That's about what he does, and talk shit that he's the best fighter and acts sort of like it. He's been doing that since he won the last fight. Since he won his last fight, he's been celebrating in restaurants and TikToks and da 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 da. He's been doing that since his last fight. And Jake Paul's just been like going to war. And you got this one guy that's acting like he's going to war. Well, this guy's ready. He's coming to the UFC. Like Conor McGregor, like I just don't see it happening. I can see Conor won't face this guy. American, big American guy. Look at the blood on him, mate. Like you think he's a lion, American lion. You don't think so? All right, well, meet the demands. Bring Jake Paul in 2022. StacksAMilli will be reporting. This is a big move here, and I'm just thinking. As I lick my lips, I was on Dana's TikTok earlier. What he had made some French fries. They got a big kitchen or whatever. He's there all the time, and he made some French fries with a lot of cheese. Oh my God, this French fry platter was gigantic. Yeah, look at this. This was his last post yesterday. He hasn't posted today on the very first day of the new year. But look, gigantic platter of fries. I said, Dana must have been in the French fry mood because I wasn't really in the French fry mood. When I seen it, my stomach felt greasy. Now I see it, I'm very hungry. I probably could. I'm getting to the point now where I could eat this. But I watched it. I said, wow, that looked really good. And he had a large amount of cheese. And I eat big things like this all the time too. Too much, actually. So much that when I seen Dana's, I wasn't even hungry. I just looked at it like it was another, but that should make you starving. Like when you see a big plate of deep fried French fries and large amounts of shredded cheddar cheese with that fresh sausage it looked like and all that, like that should get you very hungry. And now it does, but at the time it didn't, and I knew something was wrong for that fact, right? So then I had to switch up my diet, and it's amazing how quickly the way you feel and everything like that can change just by an adjustment to your diet within, like, I could have felt tired and felt like the world was going to end 10 minutes ago, but then I get I service my nutrition in whichever way that my body needs, whether it be water or juice, or not juice necessarily right now, but it was cold water and maybe a little bit of grainery, like some cereal with some cinnamon type of thing. And then you just feel like it's a whole new day, like it's a whole new year. What's this one? UFC Fight Pass. That's that free. They do it. Oh no, it's a streaming service. World's #1 streaming service for fight fans. UFC, MMA, BJJ, boxing, documentaries, historical fights. I never heard of that yet. Fight Pass. Oh yeah, R.I.P. John Madden. Back in 2021. He took one for the team in 2021. John Madden did. And I can't wait to see how the games go. Like the video games, I can't wait to see how they progress. I guess they were doing Christmas giveaways. But anyway, let's check out Jake Paul, because that's who we're talking about. This guy's a rising star. He was already a star. So what is he now? A supernova? He's gonna be a black hole. Okay? He went from being a star, because he was already a star. I guess he was a small star. Then he became a big star now with the boxing. Because it all layers. It's like an onion. He has his YouTube career. Some people have never ever seen one Jake Paul video. They're just getting their computer this year, next year, whenever they get one. And then they hop on YouTube and they just get into his YouTube career. And then they get into this part of his career. And then they get into the boxing. You don't understand. Kids, you think, oh, once everybody has seen it, they've seen it. No, every day there's new people born, new people getting on the internet, even elderly people getting on the internet. They've never seen Jake Paul. Boom, they've seen Jake Paul. Boom, there's Tyrone Woodley.